we welcome in our friend Denny Carter for what the mainstream media doesn't want us to know.
Geno has every reason to cook this week. We have incentives here. Air horn. Geno Smith, 185 passing yards.
I want to be deafened.
Yes, yes.
That's the worst air horn. I want to be deafened. That's like not a bit. That is like
great.
Physically the literal air horn you buy at the dollar store.
Yeah.
The junkiest one.
That's a real air horn.
Yeah, producer Adam comes through.
What the mainstream media doesn't want you to know. Denny, that's a loud air horn. Are you okay?
I can now hear out of my right ear. My left ear is still iffy, but it was worth it, guys. It was worth it. We needed air horns. We were talking about contract incentives, millions of dollars on the line, like you guys were talking about. Adam did the right thing, and I'm not going to sue him.
All right, Denny. Well, I've discussed on this show, and I just haven't seen many discuss, that Amir Abdullah is dealing with an injury, and once again, people are trying to hide Alexander Mattison for reasons unknown. What have you uncovered here with this Raiders backfield that is kind of a year-long mystery?
I've looked strongly into this, guys. Abdullah's out with it, not out, but he's not practicing with a foot injury. You have to monitor that situation on Friday and into the weekend. But we have a situation here with Alexander Mattison, where if he catches a ludicrous 8 passes this week against the Chargers, he gets $125,000 bonus to go along with the $125,000 bonus he already got for receptions in the 2024 season. So I would guess that he has a shot at that, which is like PPR heaven, really. I mean, that's like what we're looking for. I don't care what he does on the ground. He could have 15 carries for 30 yards. He gets 8-9 receptions in this game. He's a legit option if you're a sicko playing in Week 18 leagues, or if you're putting together DFS lineups on DraftKings.
Okay, Denny, it's a big Week 18. There is the 1 seed in the NFC on the line. There's perhaps an MVP on the line on Saturday. So let's talk about Dawson Knox. What are you expecting out of the great Bills tight end with the expectation that Buffalo will rest starters?
Yeah, leave that Lions-Vikings stuff, that exciting, consequential stuff. Leave that to the mainstream, okay? We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Dawson Knox, who is 89 yards and 8 catches away from receiving a $200,000 contract bonus, okay? So if he's active, and I'm not sure he's going to be, okay? I looked into it. I called my people with the Bills, couldn't get any answers. Of course, they're censoring me once again, but Dalton Kincaid's not going to be active, I'm pretty sure. So if Knox is active, I would suggest that the Bills just pepper him with targets and get this guy his money. Lawrence talked about what he would do to get out there and get these contract incentives, and I actually think it's very selfless for him to risk life and limb to get Tyler Conklin some extra money. That I have to credit Lawrence for that. I would go out and do it for Dawson Knox. I just want to be on the record.
Denny, what is your expectation for this Bills offense when you hear from the coaching staff, they're like, hey, we want to keep Josh Allen's starting streak. He's going to go out there. Do you think this is the mold, though, of where he literally takes a snap and hands the ball off and comes out of the game? Or is this a situation where he gets a drive, 2 drives? This is another one like the Texans that could be a little difficult to predict.
I mean, they're going to have Josh Allen maybe drop back 15 yards and take a knee. Okay,
right,
like they're not risking anything here because it's over if this guy drops back and God forbid pulls a hamstring or something. Okay, so yeah, I would say that it's probably going to be a handoff. I'm guessing it's not going to be a play action deep ball to Keon Coleman or something.
It might be. That'd be awesome if it was.
Well, Denny, from one elite quarterback in Josh Allen to another, how do you feel about Carson Wentz this weekend?
Yeah, I'm not asking this question, guys, but many are. Is Carson Wentz as good as Patrick Mahomes? It is a question that's out there. Mahomes is not a Pro Bowler. Carson Wentz not a Pro Bowler. Therefore, we have questions. But yeah, he's interesting because Carson Wentz last time he started was Week 18 last year when he played for the Rams, playing against San Francisco. Guys, he had 17 rushing attempts. Now, he didn't do a lot with them. He had 56 rushing yards. He did score a touchdown on the ground. He had 3 total touchdowns against the Niners and was kind of a revelation for DFS purposes on DraftKings. I'm not penciling him in for 17 rushes, but definitely like double-digit rushing attempts. And if you get that out of a quarterback, that's pretty cool.
Denny, looking at this game, we know it's a must-win game for the Broncos, and they have a good defense, which obviously would make you feel a little skeptical of the Chiefs' offense in this one. But like you said, just the volatility of Wentz, does that make him intriguing from a DFS play? There's also a world where the Chiefs are being, are in a heavy pass script here because of the way the Broncos are playing, and that helps them as well, like you said, with the rushing and the drop-back attempts.
That's right. Yeah, it should be lots of dropbacks for the Chiefs. I would guess that they're going to be trailing in this one. We talked on the Roto World Football Show about the possibility that the Chiefs could just upset the Broncos here, which is not out of the realm of possibilities. It would be amazing. But we have a situation here, and this is something the media won't tell you. The Broncos play man coverage at the 4th highest rate in the league. That is usually inviting for rushing quarterbacks to go ahead, leave the pocket, and gain some yards with their legs. I think that's what we're going to have with Carson Wentz. That's why I think, 10 rushing attempts is in the range of outcomes. Maybe some of those are in the red zone. Could get weird for Carson Wentz and the Kansas City offense in Week 18.
I'll just say, my biggest ever gambling loss was in 2021 when Carson Wentz went into Jacksonville in the final week of the season as a 17-point favorite, just needed to win the game to get into the playoffs, and he lost by double digits as a 17-point favorite. I very much need the Broncos to win on Sunday. So if Carson Wentz screws me again in the final week of the season, I will never forget. I already never forgive him, but I'm terrified of Carson Wentz. He's just he's very high variance. He has a lot of weird stuff. He was going to win an MVP once upon a time before he got hurt.
I think you should be scared. I'm with Denny on the fact, thinking that it is possible that the Chiefs could just simply, because, you still got a good run organization. You still got good coaching and stuff. And for what it's worth, Carson Wentz, like you said, he was a starter. He was close to winning an MVP, so it could happen.
You never know.
It's a division game. Like, the Chiefs are going to be game planning all out.
I need Chris in there ASAP. I want 4 quarters of Wentz.
I think he might play some.
I hope so.
And don't forget, too, this is a Broncos team that took the Chiefs down to the wire this season. There's something about not having them in the playoffs, having the Dolphins in the playoffs instead.
I just don't trust Bo Nix as a 10.5-point favorite with the playoffs on the line.
It'll be really interesting.
Oh,
Denny, good stuff as always. Thank you for joining us every Friday. And I would say enlightening us, Denny.
Yes.
That's the best way to put it.
It's been my pleasure, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.